Most entrepreneurs use AI completely wrong. They open up one tool, type in a single question, and then just build their entire business strategy on that one answer. It is honestly as reckless as launching a startup based on the opinion of one random person you met at a coffee shop. People are treating these incredibly powerful models like glorified search engines, when they really should be utilizing them as a ruthless, multidimensional thinking partner. If you're listening to this, you've probably been guilty of it at some point. Today, we are going to completely transform how you operate. The foundation of this system, stages 1 and 2, is all about triangulation. You never rely on a single source. Instead, you run identical market questions, things like total addressable market, competitor weaknesses, and pricing, through two distinct AI models, say Gemini and Claude, without modifying the prompt at all. Think of it like getting a second medical opinion. You want two independent specialists looking at the exact same X-ray. Now, if Gemini and Claude give you contradictory answers, that divergence is actually the most valuable signal you can get. If two distinct models disagree, it highlights where the market data is genuinely ambiguous. That is the exact spot where you need human intuition or real-world research. But this is where 80% of founders completely fail. They see a clean, confident answer from one tool, assume it's gospel, and just run with it. So it has to be less of an echo chamber and more of a debate stage. You have to force the AI to validate its own work using what I call the skeptical critic prompt. You feed the compiled research back into the AI and explicitly command it to attack its own analysis. You ask, what are the weakest assumptions here? Or, what would need to be true for this entire thesis to collapse? Once your raw data survives that teardown, you finally have the reliable foundation you need for stages 3 and 4, strategy and execution. That is when you ask multiple AI tools to design your market entry and business models. You build something like a Frankenstein's monster of competitive advantage. You take the creative marketing flexibility of one model and fuse it with the rigid structural durability of another's financial modeling. You're creating something stronger than both. But, and this is key, a brilliant strategy is entirely useless if the operations fail. So you have to force the AI to design the execution phase next. That means modeling the exact order flow, the unit economics, exactly how much it costs to acquire and serve a single customer, and eventually building out 3-year profit and loss projections. Now you might ask, how can I trust an AI to build a financial projection without hallucinating the numbers? Here's the trick. You don't ask it to do the final math. You ask the AI to build the underlying logic. You have it generate the complex formulas, identify the variable assumptions, and map the financial structure. Then you copy and paste that into Excel. The AI creates the operational architecture, but you let the spreadsheet do the actual arithmetic. Before you spend a single dollar executing this plan, you hit stage 5. You have to actively try to break the machine. You run a failure pre-mortem. And phrasing is absolutely critical here. You don't just ask the AI for potential risks, because that just gets you a generic list. Instead, you tell it, assume this business has completely failed in 2 years. Why? It shifts the analytical frame from possibility to certainty, and you must ask, how could we lose money while growing? Growing yourself into bankruptcy is a trap so many founders fall into. They confuse top-line revenue with actual profit and just end up scaling their losses. Surviving that pre-mortem is what finally earns you the right to hit stage 6. Only after you've done all this strategic heavy lifting do you let the AI write your ad copy, landing pages, and marketing emails. Because at that point, you aren't just giving it a generic prompt. You're feeding it a battle-tested, validated, competitive advantage. The marketing assets it generates are going to be laser-specific and actually built to convert. So stop using AI just to write generic marketing fluff. Start using it to systematically de-risk and build your entire business. Think about it. If an AI can accurately predict your exact operational failure points, stress test your unit economics, and audit your strategy before you even launch, what does that actually mean for the future of how we build businesses? You used to launch based on one person's opinion. Now, you can build an entire ruthless board of directors out of silicon, just waiting to tell you exactly where you're wrong before you make the fatal mistake.